So it took a while, people, but I have now watched Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy, and man, right? Sometimes when people say things about films, you might think it's hyperbole, right? People over the top. Oh, they're just saying that because they're, a fan, so they're never going to say anything bad. Well, I gotta say, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 just lived up to everything. Oh my gosh, this was sensational. I loved it so much, right? It is written and directed by James Gunn, produced by Kevin Feige, executive produced by Sarah Smith, Nicholas Corder, Simon Hatt, Luis de Espitio, and Victoria Alonso, co-produced by David J. Grant and Lars P. Wimferer. John Murphy handled the music, Henry Braham cinematography, Greg Diarra and Fred Raskin edited the piece, Sarah Finn was on casting, Beth Mickey or Mickle, I think it's Mickle. Beth Mickle, production design, art decoration, direction is Samantha Avila, Zachary Fannin, Lauren Fleming, Alex Gaines, Brittany Hitz, Alan Hook, and David Scott. Set decoration, we have Rosemary Brandenburg. Costume design is Judiana Malosky. And our cast. Well, people, obviously, the Guardians are back, right? So that means, right? Chris Pratt. Man, my mind just went blank. Chris Pratt is back as Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. We have got Vin Diesel voicing Groot, Karen Gillan as Nebula, Dave Bautista as Drax, Pom Klementieff as Mantis, Bradley Cooper voicing Rocket. Obviously, people. There is Sean Gunn as Kragling. He also voices young Rocket. Noah Raskin voices a baby Groot. All right, we have got Chukwudi Awuji as the High Evolutionary, which is very interesting. All right, we've got Will Puter as Adam Warlock. We've got Nico Santos as Recorder Phil and Miriam Shu as Recorder Vim. Lila is voiced by Linda Cardinelli. Teefs is voiced by Azim Chadri. Floor is voiced by Michaela Hoover. Aisha is played by Elizabeth Debicki. War Pig, voiced by Judy Greer. Behemoth, voiced by Ronaldo Fabali. Stakar Ugord is Sylvester Stallone. Mainframe is voiced by Tara Strong. Kruger, Jared Gore. Martin X, Michael Rosenbaum. Molly Ravinger, it's played by Molly C. Quinn. Beardy Ravinger, played by Ellen Gale. Um, oh, yeah, Gamora. My gosh, I forgot Gamora. You know, pivotal part. Zoe Saldaña. Okay. Master Karga is Nathan Fillion. Yura is Daniela Melchior. Yeah, I think they are our main group of people. I think Neely is played by Darla Delago. Yes, that's the main lot of people. Oh yes, that was it. Okay. So the gist of the story is this: Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, our beloved band of misfits are looking a bit different these days. Peter Quill, still reeling from the loss of Gamora, must rally his team around him to defend the universe along with protecting one of their own. A mission that, if not completed successfully, could quite literally lead to the end of the Guardians as we know it. Whew, those are big words, but very true. You know, one thing that I thought was pretty, and I might be wrong here, but right, Sylvester Stallone, he's Ravenger. I believe the uniform he is wearing is old school Star-Lord, right? I think that is right. You know, when you look at Stakar Ugod, as I'm not sure if that's a character, like a known character. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. But I was looking at when I saw him appear, I was like, isn't that old school Star-Lord? You know what I mean? From back in the day when who is it? Steve Englehart and Steve Gang created him. I believe that was the costume. But again, I might be wrong. But this film, what a fucking roller coaster. Oh my God. Right? You just go through all the emotions. You're laughing, you're crying, you're sad, you're angry, everything. I just thought this was just a fantastic way to end this trilogy. You know, I really thought this was a strong third, right? Oftentimes it doesn't quite end, it peters out, but this, whew, oh my days, right? It is fantastic, right? And we're dealing with consequences from, you know, Endgame, Infinity War, you know, the things that were set up in the Christmas special, you know, which was great, was a masterpiece, the Christmas special. And I think that gave you so much joy. Again, it was just like, what will Volume 3 do? What will Volume 3 do? I mean, it introduced these new characters. Because I'm gonna say, right, when I saw pictures when this was coming out, right, you saw like the Nathan Fillion character, and I was like, what is my man wearing? Right, it looked like some, I don't, you know, that dude from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like with the head in his stomach, looked like a naked version of him with mad nipples all over the spot. Like, I mean, it's just like, yo, did a cow mate with something? And we get it. What is this? But then when you watch it in the context of the film, though it doesn't, like, you still, the costumes don't necessarily make sense, but it works. You know, it works. And that's the thing with this. Is so many things work. The thing I really love that a lot of the times in films, right, people they shy away from like angriness and disagreements and shouting. Or if that happens, it's resolved by, hey guys, they didn't do that with this. People were angry. We got people shouting, but it was just like, listen, you know what? Fuck it. We haven't got time for this. Or, what I mean, I get why you're pissed. So just fucking channel it on me. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh, that's so fucking great. So great. We're not shying away from the pain. There's just so much fucking pain here. You know what I mean? And like the way this, oh, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Talk about fuck with you. Right? Just the journey of Rocket. I mean, there were so many journeys we looked at here. Like there was the big focus on Rocket, but we also looked at Gamora. We looked at Drax, and I know, I think Dave Bautista in interviews had said he wished there was more on Drax. And I guess if you had done another film, you could have put the focus on that. But when you look at these films, like they're not short films. So there's only so much we can mess with, you know what I mean? But I just thought what they did with the Drax character in this was great. And, like the end, right? I think there was something weird going on with my eyes at the end. And when you just heard, you were born to be a father. Fucking hell. Yeah, my eye issue really flared up. Really flared up at that moment. I was just like, Jesus Christ. Oh man. And that wasn't even like there was more to come after that point. But just these emotional bits like Rocket and Lila, Teeth Floor. Oh boy. It was just this was storytelling at its epicenter, right? At the height of, like, do you say it's the best story I've ever seen? No, because there's so many great stories. So it's just like, how do you equate? Do you know what I mean? Depending on my mood, is like which one might be top at that moment in time. But this was fucking fantastic. I loved it. I loved the way that they didn't do something at the end, right? There is always that fear of trying to wrap things up in a bow. And I just thought that would have done a mad disservice to this. So I loved the fact that they let it, play out the way they did. I just thought that was great. That was great. And it's realistic. Because you know what I mean? Like not everything can be solved and resolved in hours or a few days. It just doesn't happen. So that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Hats off to Mr. Gunn for that. But it's just all these other elements that we had. I was very curious to see what they were going to do with the Warlock character. So this just felt like an introduction, essentially. So it will be very interesting to see how that character is built upon going forward, But in the context of the film, it was okay. I would say some of the effects did look a little like, not really sure. But then others were just fucking great. There was a fight scene towards the end in the tunnel, right? How good was that fight scene? That fight scene. And just like everyone's working together. Oh, that was fun. That was so fun. There was just so many fun things here. So many fun things. Like the jumping out of the ship. You know what I mean? Just that bit. Also, we get people getting payback, right? Like getting their just deserves. And there was no shying from that. Like this film was not holding back on anything, right? We got people getting their comeuppance, which was just like, yeah, okay, that's the way to do it. You know, because a lot of times you're just like, oh, we're the good guy, we're not gonna do this thing, and it's just like, eh, come on now, you know, in the real world, that motherfucker be getting it, so get it gone, you know, and that's what we did. That's what we did, people. Performances were just great. Oh wait, how fun! Like when Mantis is defending Drax. Like that, those two the chemistry between those two characters is amazing. Like they killed it in the Christmas special. There was a not like if you look at that end credit scene, the last one, you get that little nod back to the Christmas special. I mean, there was nods to the Christmas special throughout. But that I thought, when you look at the newspaper, you're like, oh yeah, for sure, man. Oh, it was so good. We got, you know, there was another character introduced if you were paying attention. You know, they do get a little cameo in another of the end credit scenes as well. So there's two end credit scenes. So you need to, was it two or was there three? I think there was two. God damn it. I just watched this thing and my memory is like, "Whoa." But yeah, which is interesting because you wondered if we would see this character because they are in, you know what I mean? The space realm of this. And when Dan Abnett and Andy Lange brought back the Cosmic and Guardians, that character was involved, but we hadn't seen them, and now we have, which was fun. That was fun, you know. But yeah, no, there was, other than some of the special effects, there's nothing I could really fault with this film. I enjoyed it. All the high evolutionary, you know, it was like, how are they gonna do this? You know, because that has been a staple of the MCU. You know, the comic books throughout the years, messing with the X-Men, the Avengers, you know, cropping up all over the place. So it's just like, ooh, what are we gonna do? How is this gonna work? You know, and when you think about like all the manipulation to the animals and all of it, that was really good. That yeah, that was, man, that was good. That was good. You're just like, how did they get an otter to walk around like that? You know, the music. Now you know how I hate like musical beds to try and make you feel this and make you feel that. But I do love when they integrate music into a film and they do it well. And I thought this, you know, when you have someone listening to a Walkman and then we're listening to we're hearing a song and then it's like in the Walkman, right? Or they're putting it on the speaker or just, yeah, man, just the music and just so many great songs. So many great songs, man. You know, Flaming Lips. We had Radiohead opened up with them. Beastie Boys. You know, like Florence was a great song to throw it. It was so many great songs. So many great songs. Man, this, I just loved it. I just loved this film. Man, yeah, it's irritating I had to wait so long before I could get around to seeing it. But I'm glad, so glad I did. So glad I did. And yeah, next think I'm gonna have to sit down and just do the marathon, do them back to back, just live in that joy. Because yeah, people, if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 yet, you definitely want to see it. And just every element felt like it's a love letter to this work, right? To all of these years spent bringing these characters to life. And it was just a marvelous way to go out. So, hey, I highly recommend it. Definitely up there as one of the last, third films of trilogies. This was so good. So good. So, people, if you enjoy the MCU, if you enjoy sci-fi, if you just enjoy great storytelling, you will definitely love this.